The Miami Grand Prix has just finished, but it's not just the action on the track that has captured the public's attention. The spotlight is now on Ferrari after the Italian team's strategy once again sparked controversy. Amid the chaos, Lewis Hamilton suddenly appeared with a surprising message, suggesting that something is not quite right in the Ferrari camp. Is this a sign of a greater internal crisis lurking for the legendary team? Let's discuss it. The scent of crisis is wafting through the Ferrari garage, and this time it's not due to technical failures or lagging car performance. The real drama is happening behind the scenes of strategy. More specifically, between the team radio, the strategy room, and a 7-time world champion struggling with his new ambitions. The 2025 Miami GP should have been an opportunity for Ferrari to bounce back after several inconsistent performances. Instead, confusing strategy, slow communication, and late decisions left Lewis Hamilton frustrated, angry, and even lashing out at his team over the radio. And when Hamilton, a driver with a wealth of experience, integrity, and a fierce competitive spirit, began to speak out, it was a sign that something was seriously wrong within the team. The start of the weekend in Miami had been promising. Hamilton had been brilliant in the sprint race, taking control of his own strategy and finishing on the podium. But in the main race, he started from 12th. There was a brief glimpse of a breakthrough when Ferrari called him in under the virtual safety car and gave him fresh medium tires, a strategy that looked promising. With these tires, Hamilton was positioned to catch Andrea Kimi Antonelli in P6. But the plan was only a plan. Instead of driving on a clean track, Hamilton was stuck behind his teammate Charles Leclerc. He was in dirty water, which not only hampered his pace, but also accelerated the wear on his tires. Adding to his frustration was the fact that in the previous Chinese GP, Hamilton had sacrificed his own position to let Leclerc pass for the sake of the team's strategy. But now, with the roles reversed, there was no immediate action from the team. Tension was running high on Ferrari's team radio. Lewis Hamilton, with a heavy and emotional tone, could not hide his disappointment after receiving instructions from race engineer Riccardo Adami. The instructions were clear: keep your distance from your teammate Charles Leclerc in the DRS zone. But to Hamilton, the order sounded unreasonable, even unfair. This is not good teamwork. That's all I'm going to say, Hamilton said, trying to hold back the anger that was about to explode. His voice was strained, as if holding back something greater behind his words. But his anger did not stop there. Hamilton then made a sharp, sarcastic remark aimed directly at the Ferrari strategy team: "Please get some tea if you need time to think. Come on, hurry up." A sarcastic line that implied deep frustration with the decision-making process, which he felt was too slow and confusing. This was not just a technical critique. It was the honest expression of a 7-time world champion who felt left out, not listened to, not prioritized, and treated as if he were just another driver. In fact, Hamilton's status at Ferrari is not arbitrary. He was brought in as a symbol of hope, an icon of change, and a key pillar of this season's glory. But now, behind his helmet, there is a lingering sense of unease about the direction and intentions of the team he plays for. In a situation that could have caused tension within the team, Charles Leclerc chose not to react with emotion. Instead, he showed a maturity and empathy rarely seen in the ego-driven, pressure-filled world of racing. "I understand why Lewis wanted to switch places," said Leclerc calmly. "I would have done the same in his situation. I have no negative feelings. He just wants to maximize the potential of the car." Leclerc also openly admitted that Ferrari's current performance is not at the level expected. An uncompetitive car makes the drivers fight extra hard, and in such conditions, decisions on the track can be crucial. But behind this diplomatic statement lies a deeper picture of Ferrari's complicated internal dynamics. Two drivers of world championship caliber, both hungry for victory, but not fully supported by the strategic team. This situation seems to show that Ferrari is not really ready to manage two great powers at the same time, Leclerc and Hamilton, in one ambitious garage. Finally, after hours of hard work under pressure and high expectations, Hamilton was forced to accept the bitter, belated instruction: give back the position. "We can't catch Antonelli." An order that came after all seemed lost, after time and potential had been wasted. Hamilton's response? Full of sarcasm and deep disappointment. In a cynical tone, he replied, "Should I let Sainz pass too?" When the race was finally over, not only had Ferrari failed to achieve optimal results, but the atmosphere in the team room had become tense. Tensions were palpable throughout the team, with each member feeling the impact of the decisions that had been made. Hamilton and the team tried to calm the tension in the post-race interviews, but it was undeniable that the champion's tone was still very much in evidence. Everyone knew that despite the diplomatic words, the deep disappointment had not subsided. In the media session, Lewis Hamilton clarified the emotions that had been heard on the team radio. Calmly, he explained that his reaction was not about getting angry, but about the situation that required a quick decision. It's not about getting angry. But when you are sitting in the seat with all the data in front of you, you have to make a quick decision. We're in the car trying to survive, calculating a lot of things. The strategy has to be right on time, he said, explaining the difficult conditions drivers face in the middle of the race. He also revealed a personal moment that happened after the race when Fred Vasseur, the Ferrari team boss, came up to him in the driver's room. In a more relaxed tone, Hamilton patted Fred on the shoulder and said, "Brother, take it easy. Don't get emotional. I could have said worse things on the radio. But I didn't. I still have respect." Hamilton also emphasized that even though his emotions sometimes come out loud, he will not apologize because his fighting spirit still burns. "But I'm not going to apologize either because I still have the fighting spirit," he added emphatically. Hamilton also stressed that his desire to bring Ferrari back to the top of the competition remained strong. However, he was quick to point out that in order to achieve this, the team must first improve a number of key aspects. Communication needs to be better, decision-making needs to be faster, and last but not least, a truly competitive strategy needs to be well planned, said Hamilton, highlighting the challenges Ferrari must overcome to return to glory. Fred Vasseur did not deny that there were indeed shortcomings in his team, although he strongly defended the steps taken by Ferrari. He explained, "We only needed 1.5 laps to better analyze the situation. We needed to make sure who was really quick, because their strategies were different. I understand Lewis' frustration, but on the other hand we have to keep the balance in the team." Vasseur admitted that managing two drivers with such exceptional qualities as Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc is a big challenge. He stressed, "It's not an easy task. When you have two drivers with their abilities and ambitions, the challenge becomes even greater. However, if we fail to manage them well, it is not impossible that Ferrari will split up in the middle of the road, which would of course be very detrimental to the team." The drama that unfolded at the Miami Grand Prix underscored one important point. The balance in a team as big as Ferrari can be very fragile. On paper, they have incredible potential. Two top drivers, years of experience and the full support of the Tifosi. However, this potential could backfire if not managed with strong and harmonious internal management. Instead of heading for glory, Ferrari is in danger of falling into an internal conflict that could destroy everything. The question now is, how long can Lewis Hamilton maintain his positive attitude if this situation continues to repeat itself? Will his spirit remain burning, or will it begin to fade in the midst of the never-ending chaos? On the other hand, can Ferrari really learn from their mistakes so far, and start acting as a single, true championship team, not just a big name from the past? Write your opinion below.